let's go back to some of these RH tweets and, of course, the big audio clip that we got last week. So, first off, and this I found this really interesting, and I could tell that he's frustrated. And this is why there is a division between when there's like, oh, you're a Bitcoin maxi, you're an ETH maxi, you're a Hex maxi, whatever it is. This is why those things kind of perpetuate, I think, because he tweeted on the 1st of November there, so almost a week ago now, he tagging BTC, which he's done that in a lot of his posts recently, I noticed. And he was talking about how no larger crypto people, like mainstream BTC apparent fans of crypto, or even bothering with the SEC or IRS comments, the stuff that he's been tweeting out for a while now. Really just true DeFi people that are in this space. Obviously, hey, I don't want to be a hypocrite here. I mean, how many of us would have even known that these comments were going on and anything without RH, really? But to, I think, people that are in the Hex community's credit, I mean, they went in and, took action whenever he started tweeting about this stuff.
Yeah.
But in the larger crypto spaces like BTC maxis, when I see people that are just like regular crypto people now, I see a lot more of them tweeting about rooting for a freaking ETF for Bitcoin than I do about any kind of, legislature or anything, or laws, anything like that. It's just them rooting for a bastardized version of the thing that they used to love, apparently, having an ETF fund
Right.
with, JP Morgan and whoever, BlackRock and everything. So yeah, I mean, what do you make of that? Because like that is gross to me. Like, I mean, many of these people Michael Saylor, I think, has been rooting for an ETF. Like,
Yeah.
what happened to these people? I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't either. One of the key things that the RH always says is that crypto was invented to get rid of the middlemen, and it's kind of sickening how they've been injected right back in. It's not true crypto with all these things that are going on, and it will be detrimental. When there's that many large scale investors involved, when they get their claws into stuff like this, they always manipulate it, and it's not going to be good for the regular bag holders who have a little bit of Bitcoin, who were told one day it'll be worth $1 million.
Right?
It's not good. And to try and inject more things, more counterparty, I'll stick with Hex. I'll stick with this ecosystem where I can control what's going on in my own keychain. How's that worded?
Yeah. We'll go with keychain, rabbit's foot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you 100%. Like, let me just interact with a contract to do my own thing, and not be reliant on an ETF be passed, for my investment to go up. And just the fact that, like, are those people so blind to see and so dumb to see that is likely already going to be priced in? We already saw it. We got, what was that? I don't even remember. This is how quick news goes in crypto, but CoinDesk or Cointelegraph or whatever it is, Telegram, I don't know. One of these things a couple of weeks ago tweeted that an ETF was approved or something. And we saw like kind of what the pump would look like. And then it basically immediately pulled back.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's going to be like whenever there is an actual approval. I mean, I don't think we're going to see some blast up to 40K. I don't know what everybody thinks, but everybody's been talking about this. Like, ETF has been like the main narrative for the major crypto market for a while. I just think they're totally overrating what's going to happen in the short term.
I do think we'll get a run up. I don't agree with you there. I think it will hit probably 45,000. But it's not
just that news. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Off that news.
With as quickly as it went up and then as quickly as it pulled back by, that was all within a half hour. And that was the people that were paying attention. There's going to be a lot that aren't by the computer, aren't reading Twitter all the time like we are. It's gonna go over the course of quite a few hours, rather than just immediately pump and then dump back down because they found out it was false.
Yeah,
when is the first decision supposed to be made? Wasn't that sometime this month or next month, before the end of the year, though, right?
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's been pushed back so many goddamn times.
Either way, it doesn't matter. It could get us to 45,000 though by the end of the year. I think that's what it would really take.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I think that could be reasonable.
It's not that far off. We're at 35 now, so
yeah. Well, neither is the end of the year, like 7 weeks. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
not
that's a
far.
lot of time in crypto, though. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't really care about it, but I mean, whenever it does happen, we'll see where the price goes. It's just to me, my main point, though, going back to the RH thing, is just that it's disgusting that these people
Yeah.
are not even taking the time to really look at legislation that could be developed, and they're just worrying about, again, some bastardized fund that people can buy their Bitcoin in. So weird, if you ask me. Another thing he talked about, so this whole idea, and he talked about this on the audio clip too, we're going to get to. So the idea of self-custody actually being a myth, for as much as we do say, not your keys, not your coins, that's one thing. You're actually talking about keys. But, Chief Warren, Elizabeth Warren, was speaking in Congress last week, arguing against the sneaky ways people use self-custody. So she's now been told this term. So people, of that ilk are now talking about the term self-custody and things like that. Literally doesn't exist, actually, though. You're not really holding your tokens. And Richard talked about this a lot on that audio stream as well.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that, it's just data on a blockchain, and you know the keys to it. The information that no one else knows, essentially. You know what? I was going to actually read that tweet. I had it bookmarked because I thought he said it really, really well. But that's the crazy thing, though, is like, because Richard, I could tell, couldn't even think of it either, how else to say it. But like, how else would you, what's a new term to really come up with here? I want to read his exact tweet.
Well,
go ahead.
while you're looking for it, it's one of the things that back in the day he did state that a lot of these terms were invented or created to help people understand what was going on. Like the term wallet. A wallet is a physical thing, right? But a wallet in crypto is not really a wallet. You can't, can you make a copy of your real wallet? No, that's probably called forgery and you would get arrested.
Right.
But in crypto, you can. Like we got copies when Pulse Chain was launched. So there's a lot of terminology that could be used in some very nefarious ways by the government. However, all reality shows that it's not really accurate, and it's a lot of word salad. We have so, and it goes deep too, right? Because if you don't custody things, these things aren't real. If you don't custody them, if you don't have ownership of them, how can they tax you on something you really don't have? All of these transactions from going from one thing to the other thing, technically, you're not really doing anything than signing some sort of okay or paying a fee to get it done, because you're not even doing the movement. It's the miners and the validators are the ones that are performing these actions for you. You can't even do it. You can request that it's done, but that doesn't always guarantee that it'll get done. So, the more you think about this whole realm of words that aren't really accurate, it could go deep. And, until you turn something into cash, it's debatable. Is it even taxable? Is it a taxable event?
Right.
We're not obviously lawyers or accountants, neither, but when you think about it and dig deeply into what he's saying, a lot of that becomes suspect. So something to think
Well,
about.
we're not lawyers or accountants, but I mean, we can also see that, like, if a policy hasn't been made, it hasn't been made yet.
Right.
So, I mean, that is something you can do. And that's a lot of what's going on with a lot of the SEC stuff, is it's kind of like, you guys go ahead and do something and we'll tell you what the rules are, like, later on,
Well, and it's not even that. They won't decide on the rules. They're going to leave it.
Right.
And that's been the problem with the SEC lately, is they won't make any determinations. They won't make any rulings or to give us any kind of clarity. And that's been the problem more than anything, I think, is the lack of clarity from the people that are making the rules.